Hello and welcome to the MCM London Comic Con. I'm Ben.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Mark.
And we are Skip to the End, podcast partners of the MCM Comic Con. Mark, do you want to tell them a little bit about what we're going to be doing this weekend?
Yeah, we've got a weekend full of interviewing amazing people from TV and film. And Adam?
We're also going to be taking the sights and sounds of the convention, and we've got a question of the day for you every day this weekend.
So, let's get started.
So we're here at the MCM Buzz stage with one of the stars of Orphan Black, Kristian Bruun.
Hi everybody.
How are you doing today, Kristian? You okay?
I'm great, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Is this your first time at a convention?
This is my first time at London Comic Con.
Amazing. So how are you finding it?
It's pandemonium. It's amazing. It's great. I love everybody dressed up. I love seeing the fans at the panel talk, and yeah, it's fantastic.
It's amazing the time and effort that goes into some of these costumes.
It's incredible. I love the ones that are homemade, but even the ones that are like super homemade are so intricate and so well done. It's incredible.
So is this your first time in London, or have you been here before?
I used to live in London.
Oh, excellent.
Briefly. I did a play in 2006, December of 2006. So I was here for 2 months. I lived in Finsbury Park, took the tube every day. It was wonderful.
Have you been trying to revisit any of your old stomping grounds?
Yes, as soon as I got off the flight, I did crash yesterday morning for 2 hours, and then I went straight to Borough Market. That's my favorite spot.
So you're an honorary North Londoner now?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Excellent. So obviously we said you're here representing Orphan Black. It's been a huge success all across the world, especially in America and Britain. Did you ever envision that it would be as big as it's become?
Well, you never know. When you start filming a show in the first season, you don't know what to expect. Nobody knows what the show's about. You don't even know what it's fully about while you're making it. You don't know how it's going to be received. You don't even know what it's going to look like, the finished product. You have no idea when you tie in all the music and you tie in the visual effects and things like that, because it's a very visual effects heavy show, which a lot of people don't know, because the visual effects have to be so realistic. It's basically letting Tatiana Maslany work with many different versions of herself. That's the brunt of the visual effects, and it's done so well that you forget that you're looking at multiple Tatianas on the same screen at the same time. So you just don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know how it's going to be received. So when we were doing the show, it was just us working on our weird little show, and that's what we always kind of call it. It's our weird little show that we're really proud of. It's kind of got this indie feel to it. It looks glossy and wonderful, but it's just a really original, strange little show, and we love working on it. So it's amazing to see how far it's gone.
And you mentioned Tatiana there, and of course she plays multiple clones on the show. When you're acting across from her, does it feel like you're dealing with a different actress each day? Does it feel that real?
Totally. I mean, my character Donnie mostly works with Allison, the Allison clone, and there are times when Donnie has got to work with other people now, other versions of Tatiana, and I remember when I first started doing that, it was so off-putting to see someone that you've spent so much time with as someone else be completely different, so fully realized as a person. It was just incredible and completely flabbergasting. But she's so good at what she does that you really do think you're acting with a different person. And then you you hear cut and it's back to Tad, but she looks completely different. The makeup and hair and wardrobe team on the show are incredible. They do amazing work with her, and that helps make the transition so much easier. But it's a lot of Tad, and it's a testament to her.
And I don't want to spoil anything if anyone out there hasn't seen the show. If you've not, please do. Did you know much about your character and who he really
I knew nothing.
was when you started?
I knew nothing about Donnie. Donnie came in episode 3 of season 1, and they didn't really know how. They originally said like, oh, he might be in 3 to 6 episodes. We're not sure. And it just kind of grew from there. I think they really enjoyed the relationship of Allison and Donnie on screen. They liked the comedy that came out of that, and the show needs that comedic relief to keep a little levity to everything that's going on, because so much drama happens on the show. And so they really liked the way that Tat and I would improv off each other. We both have a comedy background, and we've done a lot of improv, and we incorporate that a lot into our scene work. So yeah, I didn't know anything about the character. I didn't know he was a monitor at the end of season 1. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen season 1. And the whole time I would ask John Fawcett and Graham Manson, the showrunners and creators, about information about my character, and they would never give me an answer like, oh, we don't know, so just play it like you aren't. So I just took that and went from there.
And the show has been picked up for season 4, I believe.
Yes, we have a season 4. We start in September. Very exciting.
How did all you guys take that news?
So happy. Last year we didn't find out that we got a season 3 until well after season 2. In fact, we used it as an announcement to sort of launch into San Diego Comic-Con. So we found out about season 4 a couple weeks ago, and we're in North America, we're halfway through airing season 3. So to get it that soon was a great weight off your shoulders, and also just a good sign that the show is doing well and getting good numbers, and people are enjoying it. They like the storyline and where it's going, and BBC America is really behind it, and Space Channel in Canada. So yeah, it's such a good feeling to know that, okay, the show's got more life to it.
Anything you can give us about season 4? Anything you know?
I was going to try to come up with some fake spoilers just to get some bad rumors out there. Donnie gets a sex change. No. We know nothing. It's funny, we get the scripts like maybe a week before we shoot the episode, sometimes a couple days before we shoot the episode, which is terribly exciting as an actor, and also like incredibly scary when you have to prep all these crazy scenes with just a couple days. But it makes for some really exciting, fast-paced filming, and we really know nothing. Anytime I see John and Graham, I try and get like some hints out of them, maybe feed them a beer or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and just try and get some information out of them. But the writer's room is already back together, and they're already going through scenarios and everything. So, and ask me that question after San Diego Comic-Con when we've had a few parties, and I can get some information out of them. But for now, I have no idea what's going to happen.
And what's it been like meeting fans of the show on this side of the pond today?
It's great. It's so trippy to go to any Comic-Con anywhere and see people dressed like Helena or dressed like Allison or Cosima. And it's amazing too. I was just traveling. I was in Croatia, and people recognized me in Croatia, and I was like, oh my God, people watch it there too. This is insane. So to go all around the world and have people recognize the show, it's such a good feeling. It means we're doing something right. And to see the fans here, I like to see the fans anywhere. I like to talk to them, and our panel today was a little short, so hopefully tomorrow we get to get some more time, and I can spend more time with the fans. But I love it. They're the most exciting, loyal fans to meet. The Clone Club is like, it made the show what it is by getting on social media so much and really promoting the show. It's the most brilliant marketing team for any TV show is the fans.
And what do you think it is about the show that has resonated with the fans so much?
I think the show has a character, there's a character that everybody can relate to in the show. We cover so many different walks of life through Tatiana's different clones, and then also all the auxiliary characters around every clone. So, you know, whether you live in the suburbs and you can identify with Allison or Donnie, or whether, you know, you're a little science nerd like Cosima, or, you know, everybody relates in some way to Felix. And we encounter every gender and every variance of gender and every sexual orientation on the show. We don't pull any punches. We represent the world as it is today without any fakery. This is the land that we're living in as a modern society, or certainly in the Western world. So I think people identify to that, and it causes some controversy on some levels, and we like that as well because we want to stir the pot with what we're talking about. So beyond the science fiction element of the clones, there's so much just everyday life that is represented on screen that people relate to.
And as an actor, have you found time to take part in any other projects, or does Orphan Black take up all your time?
No, it's great. Orphan films for about 5 or 6 months, and then I've got another half of the year free. So I work on another show called Murdoch Mysteries that has a following over here as well. It's like an old-timey cop show set in Toronto. It's like Sherlock Holmes meets Toronto, Canada meets CSI and steampunk, basically. So it's a lot of fun. I play a constable on that, Constable Slugger Jackson, who's a bit of a meathead, so it's a fun character to play. And I've done a bunch of films as well, some big films, Hollywood films, some smaller independent films, but because I have so much time off from Orphan, and I'm not in every day because there are so many storylines that have to be covered on the show, I'm able to work on other projects, which keeps me happy. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming around.